हृत्प्राप्य सद्धाम निजस्वरूपे
हृत्प्राप्य सद्धाम निजस्वरूपे
स्वभावसिद्धेनुपलभ्य निष्ठाम् मायाविलासः सदसत्स्वरूपः विरूपनानैकमुखप्रवादाः हृत्प्राप्य सद्धाम निजस्वरूपे स्वभावसिद्धेनुपलभ्य निष्ठाम् मायाविलासः सदसत्स्वरूपः विरूपनानैकमुखप्रवादाः.
Here, this sloka is a little complex. First, we'll split it as first anupalabhya nishtam. First upalabhya nishtam, and then we'll look up at what about anupalabhya nishtam. Anupalabhya means not gaining that. So, first is Shrut Prapya Siddham Nijaswarupe Swabhava Siddhe. Swabhava Siddhe Nijaswarupe Saddham Shrut Prapya Upalabhya. Upalabhya means gaining this. So, first is Swabhava Siddham, the nature of myself as reality, which is my Nijaswarupam, that is, I am Satchidananda Swarupam, that is Sat Dhama, where the Sat existence is, that is the total existence that I am. Hrit Prapya, realizing that in my own individuality that I am, as the very core of my personality, Upalabdha, if I gain that, I have reached everything. But if I don't gain that, Anupalabdha, if I don't understand that I am the very core of this, the whole Satvidya, I am the very essence of the reality of this world as myself and the world also, the Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, all the three, the very Saddhama, that is the essence core. If I don't understand that, if I am not realizing that, or without understanding and realizing the essential nature of myself, all other talks are useless. You follow now the whole sloka is? First thing is, if I understand it, then it's a problem. But all other talks is just, is it Sat or is it Asat? Does it have a Rupam or it doesn't have a Rupam? Or does it have really a form or it doesn't have a form? All those are the talks of nonsense only, because it doesn't have any meaning unless you realize first this. That's what the Bhagavan says. Says, does it have, says Mukha Pravada, etc., etc., all prattling of noise only, all discussions of serious discussions of philosophical discussions are all going on without understanding the basic, who is discussing all these things? What is the reality to this? Without understanding that all discussions have no meaning. If all these discussions help you to turn your mind towards this. So what is the purpose of discussion has to be understood. Not the discussions are bad. It becomes bad only, it becomes a jalpa. Jalpa, there are 4 types of discussions, right? Vada, Samvada, Vada, Jalpa and Vitanda. Therefore, so the Vada is, let's discuss and decide what is true. Means if two equal people sit down and say, hey, is this right or is that right? So they are after the truth. That's called Vada. The Samvada is a teacher teaching to a student. So Krishna Arjuna Samvadam. That is a higher going to lower. That is Samvadam. Vada means between two equals. Jalpa means, I know I am right, I know you are wrong. Right? And you also come and discuss things that you know you are right and I am wrong. So what is the discussion? All my purpose of my discussion is to convert you into my camp. And your purpose is to convert me into your camp. So what comes out of it? Lot of noise will come out of it. That's called Jalpa. Okay? And this is essentially what Bhagavan says. Essentially, once if you are not knowing, then all other things, is it really Satswarupam, is Asatswarupam, or is it have a Rupam, or is it Virupam, or is it one, or different, many things are there, is it one Jiva, or many Jivas, is it one Chaitanya Swarupam, or many Jivas of different types, all going into that one total, all that discussions can come and valid only first find out who is discussing. Validity of the discusser has to be understood first. When you try to inquire and dive deep into it, find out the nature of your own reality, and I am that consciousness existence, and that which has no divisions of any kind, then where is the others? All that will automatically dissolve into it. So essentially, the other becomes only Mukha Pravadaha, or loud. Mukha Pravadaha means loud discussions of only noisy discussions without realizing this basic fundamental issue. Okay, let's go to next one.
Siddhasya vittihi sata eva siddhihi siddhasya siddhihi Swapnopamanaha kalu siddhayonyaha Swapnopamanaha kalu siddhayonyaha Swapna prabuddhasya katam nu satyaha
Swapna prabuddhasya katam nu
satyaha satistitaha kim punareti mayam satistitaha kim punareti mayam Siddhasya vittihi sata eva siddhihi swapnopamanaha kalu siddhayonyaha swapna prabuddhasya katam nu satyaha satistitaha kim punareti mayam.
Siddhasya siddhi. Here there was a question in the questionnaire talking about the siddhis. There are Ashtasiddhis where one can become small, one can become big, one can read other people's mind. All sides of siddhis are there. That was a question about. In olden days, the rishis had it. How come we don't have it? Here, Ramana answers this. All other siddhis are useless. They only distract your mind from the basic what you are. They are helpful only to impress other people. Okay, these don't mean anything. They're only whether you become big or small, you are only same. Atma is the same. It is already infinite. There's nothing you can become anything. All other things are within the vyavahara, transactions only. Not that we don't say there are no siddhis of the time. Even to make an effort to gain the siddhis is useless, because once the siddhi comes, what? Only ahankara will blow up. I can do all this. So one fellow went to the Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, says, I have spent 25 years and now I know I can walk on the water. You spent 25 years, I could give 10 paisa and that fellow will take me to other side. Wow, all that is wasted your time. For what do I gain by walking on the water? So what? So those things do not mean anything, because I can have all sorts of siddhis in my dream. I can be flying all over in my dream, and all the siddhis I can think of having it in my dream. But once I get up from the dream, what is use of all that siddhis? In fact, siddhis can distract me from attention, because, hey, I have this power and that fellow has bigger power. How come he has a bigger power? All that comes into picture. And also, if I have some siddhi, whenever I use that, I am exhausting something out of my siddhi. Remember all these Mahatmas, they spent thousands of years and dead cults, or this one did that and that one. Again, they have to go back to tapas and do some more, because they get exhausted, all these things. He says, therefore, what is the real siddhi? He addresses siddhasya vitti sadaeva siddhi. Then firm abidance in the understanding that I am existent consciousness, that I am, and any other siddhi is useless siddhi. This is the real siddhi. Because once you have gained this, There is no more maya for you. There is no more delusion for you. No more all other things are within the vyavahara only. You have gained what need to be gained. Those people who have said this may have lot of population following them. Hey, I can disappear, I can bring ash, or I can bring this, I can bring that. So there are types of people who are Mahatmas who can be doing Siddhi. There are Mahatmas who doesn't have any Siddhis. There are people not Mahatmas having Siddhis. There are people who doesn't have either Mahatma or Siddhi, just people only. There are 4 types of people. But who is the greatest? Who is the greatest? Whoever has a knowledge, whether he has a Siddhi or no Siddhi, he is the greatest. Because he has accomplished what need to be accomplished. So what I need is not Siddhi. If I touch it, if something happens, what happens? How long it will happen? Until his power is dead, I will have something happens. Oh, this Mahatma touched it and I just went into it. Or this person embraced me, something happened to it. All those type of things are only last until I understand who that I am is and establish myself in that understanding. That is the real Siddhi. The knowledge does not negate by any experiences, but all other experiences that are come with will go away too. So highest thing that's what Bhagavan says, of all the bhaktas in the world, the jnani is the greatest bhakta. Right? And that is whom I love him most. Because I am not different from him. That's what jnani means. I love myself most. And Lord loves jnani. Why? Lord is not different from the jnani only. Because jnani is aham brahmasmi itself. So Lord also, the Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara has to become one. That is what the jnana means. That understanding, establishing that I am the existent consciousness, that knowledge is the real Siddhi. All other things are not. Because when whatever Siddhis that I have in the dream state, when I get up out of it, all are gone. In the same way, when I'm awakened to the higher state of consciousness, all these things don't mean. They are all mithya only. Even the siddhis are mithya only. So we have people say, I can. Somebody said we had a Tana meeting. I was in the religious committee. Says, hey, this teacher, we should invite him. Say, why? Because he can float 6 inches. He can float, jump 6 inches. That meditation, then go through. Then I had to tell him that our criteria is 9 inches. It's not 6 inches anymore. What do I do if he jumps 5 inches, 6 inches? Because it's easy to. With walk you can do. What's the point? So that kind of things is to impress others, okay. Why? Because I can impress others in that. That's not the purpose of the Vedanta, is to understand there are no others. Ultimately, because everything is myself in projected way. So this answers the question that Siddhis also, right? Okay. Go ahead.
सोऽहं विचारो वपुरात्मभावे
सोऽहं विचारो वपुरात्मभावे
साहाय्यकारी परमार्गणस्य स्वात्मैक्यसिद्धौ स पुनर्निरर्थः यता नरत्व प्रमितिर्नरस्य सोऽहं विचारो वपुरात्मभावे साहाय्यकारी परमार्गणस्य स्वात्मैक्यसिद्धौ स पुनर्निरर्थः यता नरत्वा pramitirnarasya.
So as long as I have not understood this reality, how should I proceed? So first thing to do is, Lord is there and I am a bhakta. That is the first thing to do. So this Advaita Vedanta doesn't negate all other process at all. It is called Adhyaraupa Apavada. It builds you up step by step. As you proceed higher and higher, it takes the carpet underneath out. So it is needed, God out there is needed for me to contemplate. Otherwise I cannot contemplate in the blank. Mind needs a locus for my concentration. Therefore God is there. Therefore God, Lord Japa, all those things are provided as a means for me to purify my mind until I evolve to the degree that you are in fact that. Soham, saha aham hiti. I am he. There is no difference between me and all. Even that is a step. And that, Avita, this Abhida, Bhavana, this Pavani Mata, this is most supreme of other things compared to he is different from me. So here, the Advaita says Soham, right? So I am here. So one fellow wrote this, he said Soham. So when Dvaitin got that, the Visishta Advaita, he doesn't like this Soham. He said, this is, how can I be him? I cannot be him. So he put Da in front of it. Da means Da Soham. Da Soham means I am only Dasa of him. So this is Dasa. So this, I came back to Advaitin. He put Sa in front of Da. It becomes Sada Soham. I am always him. So Dasoham become Sadasoham. Another fellow, you think he'll keep quiet? He put another Da in front of it. Means Dasadasoham. This is going on still. Majjanmana palabidam madhukaida bare tat prarthaniya madhurugraha yeshayeva. Yes. Tat brutya paricharaka brutyasyasya iti mam smaralokanatha. Know where it comes from? Anybody? Mukundamala. Why am I saying that? Swami Ishwarananda is going to talk about Mukundamala. Here, there will be yajna. Mukundamala is written by Kulashekar Alvar. And it's more beautiful. Tad brutya paricharaka brutyasya iti mam smaralokanala. As long as you are there, I am ready to serve anybody. You are servant to servant to servant to servant. Dasa. You can be any dasa. As long as you are there also. It is easy to serve the Lord. It is more difficult to serve the servant of the Lord. You met Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna. Lakshmana is serving the Lord directly. But what about Shatrugna, his own brother? He was serving Bharata, who is a servant of the Lord. So he is a servant of the servant. That's more even difficult. Dasadasoham says, I am ready to serve because in that I am pleasing the Lord himself. That is the Bhakta's vision itself. So one of the beautiful, that's first thing we learned. I mean, I told you, first thing my mother taught me is the Mukundamala. And that is Swamiji is going to take. It's one of the beautiful texts, that is Ishwaranandji, and before that he is going to give camp about Hamsa Gita also. So these are the opportunities that we take advantage of. This is how I learn. I am also grahasthas like you. I have family, a wife, and says that's not the way to do all those things, same thing, right? All those things I have. But whenever an opportunity comes, this is how I learn, because this is the greatest advantage the Chinmaya mission is providing for us. Otherwise, we cannot go to Himalayas to learn all these things. We cannot go approach to teachers somewhere else. And when the teachers themselves are coming, we should make utilize of this. And that is the greatest gift that Lord is providing in this way. So I adjust, and also Ishwaranandji is a very, very good speaker and very systematic, very analytical, and organizes his talks. It's a very beautiful, it's a pleasure to listen to him actually. So I'm going to be there. I may not be able to come all the way to Kundamala. I can't be here all the way from Virginia, but at least camp I will be attending. And please don't take advantage of that also. So here, Soham Vichare, Vapuhu Atmabhavi. As long as I have the notion that I am the body, it is important for me to contemplate, Lord, you and I am one. That provided first I had to go through in the steps. And even that also because I have not realized I am. Until then it is a meditation. After that it is a realization of what I am meditating. Okay? So that becomes an important Swatmaika Siddho Puna. Once I have realized that state that I am in fact, then there is no more need to meditate and all that. Someone asks Swamiji, when do you meditate? Say, that question itself doesn't understand. So when he is not meditating. Because he is all the time thinking, I am, soham. Is all the time is spontaneously raising. He is all the time in the meditation only. I can tell so many stories of Swamiji's beautiful experiences, but we'll go out of the range. Says in the Vekachudamani, it says there is no more need of Vedanta also after realization. Realization, Vedanta is required for me to realize. Remember I gave you avijñāte pare tattve shastradistu nishpala, vijñāte pare tattve shastradistu nishpala. Even after realization there is no need because I already realized the mission accomplished. Before realization also, Shastras will be useless if I don't use it properly. Right? Useless in the sense, if I don't follow what it says, then it is what's the point in English? I have also studied this, I have also studied that, I have finished this book, I finished that book, only finished books only. Swamiji, someone else, I have studied Gita, we have studied Gita 17 times. We went through Gita 17 times and said, let Gita go at least once. But there is no point in just, I may be an expert, I have studied another title of objective sense only. It's not that. Veda is a mirror to see myself as I am, what I am compared to what I think I am. That is the purpose. If I don't use mirror properly and then blame the mirror, then it's not the problem with the mirror. So one has to be careful. Here, since once I have recognized, then there is nothing else to be done. So even the study of the scriptures or even the analysis of Soham, meditation, it also is not needed because you are already that. Once I know that I am a man, I don't have to keep meditating, I am a man, I am a man, I am a man. I don't need any more because I am, period, end of the story. Once I recognize the fact as a fact, then that's the end of the story. Until then, I had to see that is what my goal is. Until the goal is there, I need to meditate on it or contemplate on it. Okay, next one.
Dvaitam vichare paramartha bodhe.
Dvaitam vichare paramartha bodhe.
Tu advaitam ityesha na sadhuvadaha. Tu advaitam ityesha Gaveshanat prag dashame vinashte Paschachalabde dashamattvamekam Mekam dvaitam vichare paramartha bodhe Tu advaitam ityesha na sadhuvadaha Gaveshanat prag dashame vinashte paschachabhu dashamatmai.
Here Bhagavan is telling us to those people whose minds are purified enough by the sadhana. So we have to understand this, to whom these particular statements are addressed also. It says, Dvaitam vichare paramartha bodhe. Says, when during the time of not realization, Dvaitam is important, as he and I am separate, that is okay until I reach Advaita, then Advaita becomes more important. All that is also not true. That is true only for those who are not prepared yet. If you are prepared, all these conversations also don't mean anything also. And how do we know that there is a realized person? Or not? I already told that you cannot test anybody. Not that some white things will come on top of your head or some kind of recognition that this man is realized from or some certifications come. So people ask, he says, how do you know somebody? He says, no certification. Oh, this man is not realized, that man is realized. Nobody is going to give you certificates. Our Lord will not going to send certificates. So someone asked Swamiji even, long time ago, when he was still in Washington only. And some lady came and asked, how at that time there used to be a Rajneesh and all those Bala yogis, all sorts of people were there. He says, how come India is sending all sorts? This man, Bala Yogi married his secretary or something. Some divine led mission. Somebody anyway. Why India is sending also all these kind of pseudo-swamis? Why doesn't India send those swamis who are really realized? She had a very good question. Why all these bogus swamis are coming and people are getting trapped and we don't know what is right, what is wrong, they follow all these things are happening. Why? And Swamiji gave an answer. When you go to grocery store, don't go and pick up everything there on the grocery store and then or complain that why this manager is sending all these things that not needed. You go, use your intelligence, pick up what you need. Manager has to sell depending upon the needs of the people, what they need. So it is your problem of picking a wrong thing. You have to return it if it is in America. Otherwise in India you have to suffer it because they won't accept anything afterwards. So this, you have to use your intelligence, discriminative intelligence, say, is this right or wrong? Do I really agree with him or not? You have to really use your intelligence correctly until it is logically correct and it's also spiritually correct. And in case you follow a wrong teacher, he is the right teacher to tell you that he is a wrong teacher. In the sense that even if you follow the wrong teacher and get burnt out of it, now you have learned that that is a wrong teacher and that was the lesson you needed at that time, so that now you find the right teacher. So don't complain anybody. Use your intelligence properly, to use a discriminative intellect to see, is this really right? Lord has given the intelligence. That's far away. Anyway, intelligence is there. Lord has given intelligence to use so that, not misuse, to use so that inquire, because it's an inquiry. It's not, Vedanta is beyond the logic. At the same time, it's not illogical. Aisha tarkena matirapaneya. You cannot logically deduce the reality because it's beyond the logic. But yet it is not illogical. Vedanta is not illogical. It's perfectly logical. And therefore use your intelligence properly, correctly to design. So all this Advaita, Vichara, Paramartha, all this depends upon your maturity of the person who is evolving. And once you have come to a stage of Saddarsanam, you are ready to see the reality as it is, then rise above. Atma Vichara, find out who is that I. That is because of the basis for all this universe itself. And the rest of these conversations will be of meaningless. It is just like, the 10th man story. Bhagavan tells you the 10th. Anybody doesn't know 10th man story? Oh, there is one man who doesn't know the 10th man. 10 students who are disciples of one teacher, they are all serving together. It's called, in Telugu, they're called Paramanandaya or something like that, Paramananda Sishyas. But these Sishyas are together, they are going to, the assignment was given to go to other side of the river and find out something and come back. Please go, he appointed one leader and everybody crossed that river, and the leader was there to make sure that everybody is safe. So after crossing the river, they want to make sure that everybody crossed the river is safe. So he assembled the leader assembled everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There is no 10th man. He's counting. He says, where is the 10th man? 10th man is missing. He says, 10th man is missing. Say, you don't know how to count. Let me count. Other fellow comes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When you also find now 10th man is missing. Everybody counted, recounted, everybody counted. saying there is a 10th man is missing, we don't know. Who is the 10th man? We don't know that missing person also. And the 10th man, there is only 9 people. Let's say, what are we going to? Everybody is crying and one fellow is watching this. And this Mahatma says, 10th man is there. He says, 10th man is there. Do you know? Have you seen him? Yes, he has also crossed the river. Don't cry. So once they have specified, so where is the 10th man? He's going to be coming here? Yes, I'll bring him right here, right now. My God, this must be Mahatma, great soul. So he says, what should we do to bring the 10th man? Assemble again. He asks the leader, assemble again. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where is the 10th man? He says, Tattvamasi. You are that 10th man. Why is this example? 10th man was not missing anywhere. 10th man was right there counting everything else, looking out. And this is the world, and I'm trying to experience Ananda out of that world, where there is no Ananda there. It's not that this man has brought 10th man into this, but at this time, 10th man is there all the time. So it is not Advaita or Dvaita. It is just one only. Beyond Dvaita, Advaita, it is done one reality, irrespective of any of these things. Yet I am not recognizing because I am here and trying to see that it is somewhere else. And I want to search for happiness out there. But it is not out there. Happiness is in you only. Happiness can only come when I recognize that I am Anantam. I am Anantam means I am limitless. Limitless is happiness itself. What I am longing for, I am already. And Swami Chinmayananda used to give the same example. He says, one fellow has become drunkard and gone to the room and says, hey, he is already in the room. I want to go to my room. I want to go to my room. Please take me to my room. Please take room. He was crying and making a lot of noise. What this day? You are in your room. He says, no, I want to go to my room. He was crying and shouting and all that. What do? They take him out, going all over the campus and brought him back. And say, now you are in your room. That's what Advaita is. You are already that. But we are searching for myself. Where do I search? I myself searching for myself. Where do I find it? All the search is to realize that the seeker himself is this art. And it is there. It's not that 10th man is going to come and there is an Advaita coming. It is nothing of that sort. It is only a realization. I am the Satchidananda Swarupam itself. And that is the basis of it. Yes. Let's go ahead.
Karomi karmeti naro vijanan.
Karomi
Karmeti naro bhadyo bhavet karma phalam cha bhoktum. Vicharadhuta hridi kartruta chet. Karmatrayam nashyati saiva muktihi. Karmatrayam nashyati saiva muktihi. Karomi karmeti naro vijanan. Bhadyo bhavet karma phalam cha bhoktum. Vicharadhuta hridi kartruta chet. Karmatrayam nashyati saiva muktihi.
So, karomi, karma iti naraha vijanan. It says naraha, here naraha stands for the ignorant person who thinks that I am a doer. It says I am karomi, means I am doing the action and thinking that I am a doer. See here, Bhagavan puts in a very beautiful way. Not I am a doing. Thinking that I am a doer means that is a notion that I am a doer is only a notion in my mind. That is a thinking only. Not that he is doing. What he is doing is body, mind and intellects are doing. Body, mind, intellects belongs to the Prakriti and Prakriti is his glory. He himself became so many. So it is he is only doing in this BMI. But I take myself as I am the doer thinking like that. When I think like that, then the results are very thinking itself binds me now. Says, this badhya that compel me to bind myself with the result that is coming out of the action. Not that it result belongs to me. Results also belongs to the Prakriti only. Whoever is doing will get the result. Prakriti is doing, Prakriti will get the result. But I take myself unnecessarily that I am a doer, therefore I am bound by the results of the action that is being done by the Prakriti itself. And that is the problem. Therefore, all this karma, prarabdha karma, sanchita karma, agami karma, all that is because of thinking that I am a doer. The kartrutva bhavam is there, therefore bhoktrutvam also is there, associated and go with it. But once I realize that I am never a doer, I am only a witnessing consciousness in my presence itself, the Prakriti is dancing like this. If I understand it clearly, then who is an actor? Where is the notion of the bhava that I am a doer doesn't come anymore? Then what is this karma, prarabdha karma? All that has no meaning. So what happens to all that sanchita karma, all that questions is, there is no validity for it. It has only validity as long as I think I am a doer. Once I recognize that I am never a doer, not I am no more doer, I was never a doer also. Past also, present also, future, because I am Satchidananda Swarupam, infiniteness cannot do, because karta, karma, kriya, or each limits each one, it's only limitations within that. I am unlimited beyond karmas. That's why Brahman doesn't undergo any modifications. Karma itself is an modifications. But in its presence, as though, quote unquote, the actions and dynamism going on. So if unnecessarily I take myself, I am the doer, then the results bind me. Therefore, the karma belongs to me. Therefore, I have sanchita karma, prarabdha karma, agami karma, all that is because of the notions. Therefore, karma belongs to Prakriti itself. So karma trayam is the sanchita karma, agami karma, or the prarabdha karma. Nothing of that will be remaining once I realize that I am totality. Then, that's the end of the story. But karma belongs to Prakriti. And Prakriti, body is coming from Prakriti. Therefore, whatever that body still remain as prarabdha karma, still remains with the body. So the body, mind, intellect, parts of the Prakriti, that will undergo as scheduled, as arrow has been shot, it will undergo itself. It doesn't belong to even when you are jnani or ajnani. It's not that jnani is a karta and I am karta. No. Even ajnana also, it doesn't belong to me. But unnecessarily it putting on my head and then it belongs to you then. Follow the problem is. So, the jnani's body will go whatever the prarabdha that set because of the Prakriti is going. Not body. Jnani is going. Jnani doesn't have any prarabdha. It's not that way. Jnani doesn't have anything. But the body that came out of the prarabdha, that because the Prakriti will go its natural process in that, and the Lord Himself as though uses the body, mind and intellect for the generation for the benefit of the totality. Jnani himself is gone. So it depends on how you look at this problem. One can understand. Or you can say, Jnani has realized and still playing the game. Because the Lord Himself has now, not that Ishvara, but as a local entity, as a Brahman, identifying with the Jiva, he can still play the game of life also. Both ways are valid way of looking at it. Okay.
Baddhatva bhave sati moksha chinta. Bhave sati bandhastu kasyeti vicharanena siddhe swayam swatmani nitya mukte kva bandha chinta kva cha moksha chinta chinta bandhatva bhave sati moksha chinta
bandhastu kasyeti vicharanena
siddhe swayam swatmani nitya mukte bandha chinta kvacha moksha chinta.
In this last sloka, Bhagavan says, first, say, you want liberation, moksha. What is moksha? Moksha means freedom from limitations. That's what moksha is. Say, that itself is silly. Moksha has a meaning only for those who are already limited. They want to become non-limited anymore. But when they inquire first, is it valid? The bondage itself is a problem. Question is really who is bound? Only the one who is bound is required to the moksha. Swami Chinmayananda had a beautiful story. Says these pagadis in the Himalayas, they were going, they had a lot of mules to carry from one place to other place. So he was carrying a lot of luggage. And suddenly, we don't know when it snows and all that. So as they were going in the top of the hills, suddenly started heavy snow. So he says, hey, we cannot go anywhere. I had to take a shelter tonight and go tomorrow and when things are clear. So he wanted to find some ashram or somewhere to where he can take a rest. And he found one Swamiji's place where there's a lot of place. So he went to Swamiji. Sir, I have a lot of mules here. It is snowing. I cannot go. I need to take rest, and mules also have to take rest. So can we take a shelter here? He says, very good. So go and tie the mule somewhere, take a bath, and have something to eat, and then sleep, and tomorrow you can go. He says, that's very good. Then he says he said, remember mules, he doesn't want these mules to go around all over the place and get lost. So he wanted to tie them. And he forgot to bring, remember all that, what do you call? Peg and all those, and hammer. He forgot to bring them to tie them. He said, what am I going to do with all this? So many mules are there. So he went back to Mahatma. Says, what happened? Says, I don't know how to tie, I forgot it. What do you normally do? So I say, I take that and tie each one to the mule. Says, then why don't you do it? Says, I forgot all those. Do one thing. You pretend as though you have this one. You pretend you are baiting. You pretend that you are tying that mules to that one, and pretend everything and ask them to lie down. Pretend. These Mahatmas are so great. They have a lot of powers. All siddhis are there. We don't know what power he has. And he went and did tuck, 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 all the noise he made, and he did as if he's tying and says, now lie down. Says, why didn't you do that before? We could have lied down before. So they quietly lied down because now they are tied. Like all the mules lied down once he went each one and did all that. So I told you, Mahatma is great. He has so much powers. So he went back, he slept and all that. In the morning, he wanted to get up and he took leave of the Mahatma. Swami, I thank you very much. I want to leave. And then he wants to get up. They are not getting up. So what is the problem? What is the problem? There's no problem. There's nothing. So he went back again to Mahatma. What's this? What happened? He says, they are not getting. Did you untie them? What is untying? There's no tying there. What can I untie? No. You have to untie them properly. So he went through all the operations again of untying those where no ties itself. And say, why didn't you do that before? Mule says, what a stupid fellow. We know that we are tied and we have to get up out of it. So we are like mules. We think we are tied, therefore we need untying things to get out of this. Neither there is a tie, there is no untying. We are free. You don't need to attend any more camps. Of course, in my camps you have to attend. Because you feel you are still tied. As long as you feel tied, you have to attend. All the liberation, bondage, all the notions in the mind. As long as I feel I am bound, you are bound. Liberation is nothing but recognizing I was never bound. Moksha is not something to come. Moksha is recognizing that I am already liberated itself right now as I am. I am free. That understanding, that establishing and realization as Dudhaivam means firm abidance in the knowledge that I am always free. Not I am free now, I am always free. I was never bound also, even in the past. I thought I was bound, like the mule. That is, in that, where is liberation? Who is liberated? All that is just drama. So even moksha, liberation, all within the vyavahara only. From Brahman point, there is no liberation, there is no bondage, there is no jnani also in the Brahman. Aham jnani is not, Brahma jnani doesn't say, I am Brahma jnani. He doesn't say, I am Brahman, period. There is no jnanam, ajnanam of any of that type in that Brahman. And that is what you remember in the meditation sloka? Na bandha, na muktihi. Right? Na mukti, na bandha. There is no mukti and there is no mukti. Chidananda rupam sivoham sivoham. That is my nature. That is my purity. Siva means auspicious is my nature. There is nothing of unauspiciousness here. And that is realization of that, because I don't become infinity, I am already infinite. Therefore, I am free, because only finite things can be bound. That clear understanding where no more questions are there. If I have a question, that means I have not understood it. If I am Brahman, how come doesn't come anymore? Because you are putting one leg there and one tried leg here. So all our confusions and all that are not clearly understanding what reference state we are referring to. And this is the same problem here. So here, Bhagavan declares there is no bondage, nor you are all free. Okay. Next.
Rupinya rupinyubhayatmika cha.
Rupinya rupinyubhayatmika cha.
Muktistri rupeti vido vadanti.
Muktistri rupeti vido vadanti.
Idam trayam ya vivinaktyahandi.
Vidam trayam ya vivinaktyahandi.
Tasya pranashah paramartha muktihi. Tasya pranashah. Rupinya ubhayatmika cha. Muktistri rupeti vido. Idam trayam ya vivinaktyahandi. Tasya pranashah paramartha muktihi.
There are a lot of theories of this liberation and the moksha, all sorts of theories, philosophical positions are there. Some say it is with the body. You can go, this is Advaita tells you, this is one you cross there, once you reach, you are given one body where you have your own body and the Lord has a body. You will be just like all other in that also. That is one kind of moksha that people talk about. That is Rupini, which say Rupa means here Sariram. The one I have the Sariram, even in moksha also. And other people says, how can I have Sariram? Then I become limited, I will be localized, then I am not here and I am not there. I have good, the other fellow has a better Sariram. All those things again, Taratama Bhagam. That means the comparative and superlative, all that comparisons come. He is better, I am better, even my neighbor. Remember all those stories I told? All that will start coming in. It's not that type. There is no Shariram, there is nothing. It is essentially a Rupini. Rupini means without any body. That is the moksham. He says, no, we have Rupam and also we have both of them. It's another in-between story. That is Visishta, this is Advaita. Advaita says, as long as you are Jivan Mukta, you are liberated, you have the body as though the body, mind and intellect is there. You have realized that, but still you can use this BMI for the benefit of the society. You are here itself liberated. That's liberation too. Even though there is a BMI, but once the BMI drops out, you are without any of this. You are the total itself. That also is theories are there. All these talks about theories of that without inquiring who you are. First find out, discover yourself, what is your true nature. If that is idam trayam, all these philosophical discussions of these types of things will go away, because you have not analyzed first what is the basis of all this. And tasya prakas pranasa paramatma muktya, the one that is, which destroys all these concepts, everything else, that which is free from all descriptions of the moksha itself, that which is beyond any words that I can express about that, that is the real truth about moksha. Nothing can be described about it. Nothing can be said about it. Why? It is because beyond the words that can be. It is infinite. What can I say? It is not this, it is not that. It is all I can tell about all what is not, because it is not finite. It is not akara. It is not this type. All I can tell only by in the negative terms that I am familiar with here. But actual is nothing. Even Advaita I cannot say. Advaita is only when there is Advaita and say this is not Dvaita. Advaita means non-duality. Only when I am seeing duality, I say it is Advaita. But in that, in the absoluteness, there is no Chit, Sat, Chit, Ananda. All those words don't mean anything also. Or everything will drop out. I am pure. That's it. Nothing else. I am. Even that I am is only with reference to other things only. It is just pure, without anything. That is the real aspect of this. Okay, can I go? Two more slokas. Yeah, go ahead.
Saddarsanam Dravidavang Nibaddham
Saddarshanam Dravidavang Nibaddham
Maharshina Shri Ramaneya Shuddham
Maharshinam Sri Ramaneya Shuddham
Prabandham Utkrishtam Amartyavanyam
Prabandham Utkrishta Amartyavanya
Anudya Vasishta Munirvyatanit
Vasishta Munirvyatanit
Saddarshanam Dravidavang Nibaddham Maharshina Shri Ramaneya Shuddham Prabandham Utkrishtam Amartyavanyam Anudya Vasishta Munirvyatanit.
So with the previous sloka, Saddarshanam text is really over. And these next two slokas is the appendix to it, recognizing the authors of this text. Here is Saddarshanam, Dravidam Vak, Nibaddham. Nibaddham means composed in first by Bhagavan Ramana. It says in Dravidam means in the Tamilian language. This was written as Uladu Narpadu. So, Maharshinam by Maharshi Sri Ramani. It's Suddham, it is without any defects. Suddham is pure. Pure means there is no Shabda defects or Artha defects. That's what the purity here is. And it is the composition, Prabandham. It is Utkrishtam. These are qualifications for the book itself, the Tamil book. Utkrishtam is supreme, because it talks about the Supreme also. And Amartyavanim, in this book has been translated in Amartya means this is Sanskrit language. It says Anodhya means translation. It says by Vasishta Muni, by name Vasishta Muni. Is composed. This Saddarshanam text based on the Tamil text that Bhagavan Ramana himself, this Maharishi, has written. That's this in meaning. Next.
Sattattvasaram saralam dadanam
Sattattvasaram saralam dadana
Mumukshaloka mudam dadana Amanusha Shri Ramaniya Vani
Amanusha Sri Ramaniya Vani
Mayuka Bhikti Munivak Vibhati
Mayuka Bhikti
Adi Sat तत्त्वसारं
सरलं
ददाना मुमुक्षलोकाय मुदं ददाना अमानुषश्रीरमणीयवाणी मयूखविद्धि मुनिवाग्विभाति.
There's a benediction type of sloka. It says, this is written by the Vasishtha Ganapati Muni. It says, Sattvasaram Saralam Dadana. This text itself presents you the essence of the Sat itself, the truth, the reality, that which is the essence of the whole thing itself. And that essence is Saralam, in an easy way. It means the slokas are so easy. Dadana is presented in this Mumukshu Loka. For what? For whose sake? For those students who have Mumukshutvam, that means who have desire to realize or to recognize what is that nature of the reality. Those who are prepared to inquire. Not for everybody. So this is adhikaratvam, those students whose minds are purified enough to inquire. Like this, all of us, right? Who are ready to inquire what is the nature of the reality. For them, this it is written. Let this text give mudam dadana. Let them give the greatest happiness. Mudam is mudam. That gives the happiness for them. It says, Amanush, this is where, what is this Sadhya? Again, he's telling us, Amanush Sri Ramaniya Gita Vani. This is the speech or the walk of the great Rishi. Amanusham is the greatest person who is Sri Ramaniyam. See, one who revels in self. Ramana means the one who revels in himself also. That walk himself is what is being presented. And he gives a picture here. It's like, this Mayuka, means the rays of light is bitti, like in the whole mirror wall is there. It's reflecting that all these slokas are not my composition. There is nothing of mine there. They are reflecting the lights of this great light that is coming out. That is the Ramana's walk. That is the speech of the Ramana himself is getting reflected through this slokas that is composed, and that is essentially let it shine, vibhati, let that shine all over, and therefore we go back to the first sloka. Yeah, go ahead.
Satpratyaya kim nu vihaya santam.
Satpratyaya kim nu vihaya santam.
Hriddesha chinta rahito hridakyah.
Desha chinta rahito hridakyah.
Katam smaramastamameyamekam.
Katam smaramah tamameyakam.
Tasya smritihi tatra dridaiva nishta.
Tasya smritihi tatra dridaiva nishta. Satpratyaya kinnu viharya santam. Hridyesha chinta rahito hridakyah. Katam smaramahtamameyamekam. Tasya smriti tatra dridaiva nishta. So camp started again. No, we go back to the first sloka. That means it is not that we finish Saddarsanam and it is over. It's only beginning to inquire again and again and again until this knowledge sinks in deep enough that we know we are. We are means I am means existent consciousness that I am. Until that understood, look at it, read it, study it, contemplate on it, until this becomes one with us. That is the purpose of make sure that we understand it. With this, we are completing. First, my thanks to Swamiji.